8 most dangerous jobs for children in the world. From Russian spy kids to child soldiers, we count down 8 of the most dangerous jobs for kids in the world. Number 8. Cartel drug runners. The Mexican drug cartel looks for 3 qualities when hiring a drug mule, and those qualities are the following: to be young, dispensable, and cheap. The Department of U.S. Immigration in recent years has noticed a huge increase in teens that are being used as drug mules transporting drugs across the border. Most of the teens that have this job are addicted to the drugs that they sell.
Oh, that's just sad.
A good majority of the kids are looking for jobs and are hired as lookouts or mules. But there was one case where a boy was kidnapped and forced to work for the cartel.
That's awful.
During the time that the boy was in police custody, he admitted that he was part of 4 beheadings.
This is terrible.
Unfortunately, it's illegal to obtain any documents from crimes committed by minors in Mexico, and they can't be imprisoned for more than 7 years, no matter what their crimes may be.
This is sad.
Number 7. Spy kids. A few years ago, a Russian spy ring was seized by the US government. During the seizure, they discovered that many of the spies were grooming their own children to replace them when they got older. Apparently, the children were trained on site and were sent to the best schools throughout the US, where they were encouraged to learn several different languages. The goal was for the children to eventually get government jobs in the US. At the time of the raid, most of the children were suffering from forms of identity crisis due to the fact that they were raised under fake identities.
Who am I? What's going on?
Number 6. Firework factory workers. In the state of Tamil Nadu lies Sivakasi, a city that is known for having over 800 factories, most of which are firework factories, and almost all of the fireworks are made by kids.
What?
Even though Sivakasi has strict laws when it comes to child labor, it still continues.
That's awful.
The government has tried to intervene and make sure that children are not working in dangerous settings, but it's nowhere near being fixed. Nowadays, most of these children work in factories that are based in residential homes, and they follow no safety protocols. The kids that work in these home-based fireworks shops combine chemical ingredients with their bare hands. That leads to poisoning, not to mention explosions that have led to death.
This is awful.
Number 5. Tobacco field worker. Contrary to popular belief, child labor does not just occur in third world countries. In fact, reports from the Human Rights Watch showed that a large number of children work in tobacco fields in the US, including Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Most of the children who work in these fields develop dizziness, headaches, and nausea, all symptoms of nicotine poisoning.
Yuck. Brutal.
Once these children reach adulthood, most of them develop cancer or suffer from cognitive and learning disabilities. So the next time you pick up a pack of smokes, know that you are feeding into an industry that is poisoning thousands of children with pesticide and nicotine on a daily basis.
Quit it. Quit all of it.
Number 4. Child soldiers. War brings out the best and worst in people. Sometimes it forges bonds and brings people closer together. But more than anything, it brings forth destruction, exploitation, and leaves physical and emotional scars that last a lifetime.
Maybe we should not have wars then.
When it comes to child soldiers, most people tend to think of countries in Africa that use children in the military. However, the list is quite long when it comes to countries that use child soldiers, dating back to World War II. In fact, right now, more than 200,000 children are fighting in places like Myanmar, Afghanistan, and the Middle East. These children are forced to face the dangers of war, possible death, and scars that will change them for the rest of their lives.
Hey, how about we stop doing this then?
Number 3. Bangle makers. Indian glass bangles are very popular with locals and tourists. However, behind the making of these beautiful bangles lies suffering.
No!
Most of them are made in tiny shops with no concern for labor laws. A large number of factories employ children in order to cut back on their overhead. Some poverty-stricken families send their children to work in dingy, poorly ventilated factories where they make knickknacks to help support their families. The children who work in these factories lose the innocence a child should have and quite often lose their health.
No!
They work long hours in glass factories and develop breathing disorders, suffering from asthma, and some die because their parents avoid getting their children treated by doctors for fear the authorities will get involved.
This is sad.
Number 2. Child miners. One of the biggest places that produces gold is in Tanzania. And most people don't realize that the gold bands on their wedding fingers come from the mines there. In those mines are children, who are the sole breadwinners of their families. They work every day and quite often more than 24 hours.
That's terrible.
Shedding their blood, sweat, and tears, risking their lives to help their underprivileged families.
This needs to stop.
Most of these child miners develop health issues due to dust inhalation and mercury poisoning.
What can we do to help you? This is terrible.
Number 1. Bullfighters. To Spaniards, bullfighting is an art, but to the rest of the world, it's just plain cruelty. Matadors take a great risk when they step into an arena to fight. They have one goal: to kill a bull. And if successful, in return they get rewarded for their bravery with a lot of money. Most matadors receive approximately $335,000 per appearance.
That's like $9.
In Mexico and other impoverished places, children often volunteer to learn how to bullfight, a profession that is one of the most dangerous in the world. This sport's rules vary in different countries. For example, Portugal prohibits the killing of any bulls, and in Spain the requirement is that you have to be older than 16 to kill one. However, places like Central America and Mexico have more easygoing rules. Bullfighting academies in Mexico allow thousands of children as young as the age of 6 to enroll in this barbaric sport.
You just stop it right now. Mexico, go to your room. You're grounded.